Many rivers flow to this naked eye, bringing fear and pain, but also a brand new style. And of all these rivers,
politics, this is what we're talking about. Councillor for Claxton Bay, Nadia Khan Mohammed, after walking whole day with David Lee, look at food cooking, rolling thing with the builder, and look! Candidate from Ortonville, Tunapuna. This is Doga. Look at them. Curry duck, roti. Doga, roti. Pass the roti there. Councillor to the next councillor. This is UNC under camera. That's what we're talking about. Unity in roti and all. Oh Lord. Point Fortin. Unity. Tuesday, 7:30, Point Fortin. Point Fortin. Douglas politics.
and the mind benders, people don't take it fun. We are smart men, and politicians can come along if they want.
Listen, take some education. Listen, come on. Look back up your valleys there, B&M have to go. Just now is election, we bringing back UNC.
Anil is back to deal with the B&M. And to you on the radio, and to you watching on TV, do not adjust your dial. It is Anil you're seeing right here, live and direct, never went anywhere. Because the Douglas can talk either way.
Good evening and welcome to Douglas Politics from Point Fortin. But we're not starting off with no noise and thing yet because this is a very serious time. We want to wish our UNC warrior, our UNC soldier, Mr. Andy Pitbull Williams of the Ground Report, of Calypso, of DLC, of Gasolina, of Corona, gas in the Corona. We want to wish Andy Williams a speedy recovery. I noticed that most of the newspapers, the mass media, have put the shooting and attempted murder of Andy Pitbull Williams, an extraordinary UNC warrior, on the Ground Report, on Real Media TT. They have put it on the back pages, page 7, page 9, in small print, a small article, as if it is something small. When you see the video, you can know that the Pitbull is a real man. I must commend the Pitbull because facing two men with guns shooting at him, facing two killers coming with a plan to assassinate him, he fought back with nothing in his hand. He charged at them, he ran at them, and he forced them to miss. And I could tell you all, whoever you call your God, whether Jehovah, whether Orisha, Shango, Hindu, Ram, whether Allah, Buddha, Jah Rastafari, there is a supreme being because Andy Williams is still alive. I'm going to show you the video. This is a very serious thing. He is one of the forefront UNC soldiers on the radio, on the Facebook. He's the man, the face of the United National Congress. An attempt on his life. And let me tell all you something. Andy Williams that ain't nothing, so all you pretending what it could be and what it could be, it have nothing else. It's a very serious time. And I noticed that the mass media is gone quiet. If it was some other side, you would have heard all kind of thing. But let me show the courage, Archie. Show the courage and the fight of Andy Pitbull Williams. Show it again, Archie. Show it again. Men came around from the bush, through the bushes, came. They knew what time he was going to leave to go up to 104.7 FM to start the ground report. They came for him with guns, loaded, cocked, ready to go. Met him inside his garage, got in his house with guns to the man unarmed. 2 cowards. But he fought them with nothing, Andy Williams. And he's alive and kicking. 6 bullets entered him. And he's alive and kicking. But let me tell you all something now. Because you all think it's a flipping joke. When this clown, this woman here, this PNM who went and screened for Port of Spain South, when she talk her nastiness, and let me tell all you Babylon something who play in PNM, I reported this to the police and nothing happened, and all you feel is a joke. Play this stupid woman here for me. Play she.
Man, the only thing I want to tell Annie Roberts right, Tom and Kamla Pasal business in this country, and it's many of you holding it back. Many of you holding back people like me from telling them what we really want to tell them, because what we really need to tell them is how their mother made them. That's what we really need to tell them. But you see, there are a lot of people in this country still playing games with these kind of politicians. And we're not supposed to be playing no games with these kind of politicians. We're supposed to be taking it to them. We're supposed to jump over the fence, run up inside of the house, hold them, and deal with them seriously. But no, we're getting kicks in this country. You understand? So Annie Roberts feel that he can still come back.
And all you feel is a flipping joke. All right. Well, all you continue the joke. Continue the joke. Run up in people's house. Deal with them seriously. All your PNM police. And what up now? They didn't run up in Andy Williams' house and try to deal with them seriously. It's a flipping joke with all you. All you carrying the thing too far. I ain't see no small pin Stuart Young with no press conference to talk nothing. Who do that? Who pay them? Who saw them? Was it a red jersey pay them to do that? I ain't hearing your small pin. Everything is a joke. Okay. That's why the PNM only screening police officers. And the country supposed to have confidence in all you. More than 2/3 of the country gone yellow. From Matla to Labre to Point Fortin gone yellow. The country gone yellow. And only Babylon police reporting to Keith Rowley and Stuart Smallpin Young. And we ain't seen no press conference when a #1 UNC soldier had attempt on his life. We ain't know how he lived there. And it's a joke. I wonder if the tables had turned all here that say, how UNC paying people. When Stuart Smallpin Young talked that stupidness in January about UNC paying people to randomly and sporadically kill all you, leave him. He still have a work as a Minister of National Security. What he have to say there now? What the mass media have to say? What is Julia Davy? That is a PNM possible candidate. For a while they had news reports that she was the candidate. She screamed for the PNM, telling people to run up in UNC house, in my house, over my wall, and UNC soldiers' house. Well, they listened and they did it. Where the police? Where the police? Well, Julia Daly run up in my house. As the Douglas said, run up in my house, please. Now we talking now. The Express, policing and politics don't mix, they say. Because all of a sudden, we see article, police, the police, the PNM police doing their work in the newspaper. 4 weeks ago, the Douglas, I didn't know I looked so good in suit. I had forget I ain't wear no suit in a long time. Judy, remember, put me on the front page. Hey, live sport, rekindle. All you could rekindle live sport from now till you're dead. But the Anil, the minister, name was never called, will never be called. So all you could investigate from now till you're dead. God bless you. Because when you follow process, ministers don't get involved in procurement, contract selection, award, or payment. They have a board, they have directors, and plenty of them was P&M, including Mr. Kokorit. So if all you're looking up people who was in charge of spending money, all you start, because when the UNC is in power, we don't only hire UNC. Whoever win, whoever is the best candidate get hired. So in live sport, many of the top echelons were people, national movement members, including Mr. Kokorit, who hate Anil. But I talk Anil for 20 years. If Anil was malicious, he could not get no job. But we don't get involved. So you could put my picture, talk live sport from now till you're dead. If they have anybody who did wrong, let the pieces fall by where they may. But that has nothing to do with the minister, that has nothing to do with the UNC, and that has nothing to do with Kamala. So you keep trying to put my face and innuendo, but then they say no accusation against Anil. Anil's name was not in no audit. Anil's mother name, father name, wife name, girlfriend name, brother name, nobody in no audit. Because we don't do that. We leave that for Faris Al rental a la tight pants. 61 million. Faris I hear it at Bacchanal, boy, what going on? Them tight pants open up, boy. Thing shoot out, boy. Faris, what going on in the south? It's true. Stuart Young, brother Angus Young, 3.62 billion. You see why them desperate? You see why they're so desperate? Because P&M ministers purchased Galleon's Passage. Rowley and Small Pin went and tendered and purchased 2 ferries, fast ferries for the sea bridge and 2 cutlass vessels. P&M ministers purchasing. So all you could go and look. When you follow process, corporate governance, tender proceedings, Ministry of Finance rules, it not only protects the money, the treasury, you know, it protects the minister. So in live sport, the minister came up with a concept for young black people to tell them put down the gun and stop killing each other. And it paid them $1,500, they got their money. It got them 2 good meals per day, 5 days a week. It got them into MIC, NESC, got them in doing sport, healthy activity, charity. That's where the minister stopped. So they could search where you want. But there are people whose job it was to handle the people money. So God bless y'all. I don't know what y'all hoping on. So put my picture all over live sport. I am proud of my idea for live sport to help poor black people. But all here those who are excited, oh God, police coming for me. Look at it right here. Come now, Babylon. Come now, P&M Babylon. It's all right. Come. But let me ask all you something. When you all realize that police supposed to be for everybody, but it appears that police, AK, Watson Duke gets sedition charge, Satmaraj gets sedition charge. But when that clown Juliet Davy talk that nasty, malicious nastiness, and some people look like they have acted upon it now, what say you, Babylon books? Always only to guard P&M? Okay, well if you all feel this is P&M country, so be it. So be it. So, after those articles you hear, the Express comes and says, policing and politics don't mix. Now this is the Express, The Express is the paper that used to have Asha Javid as the #1 investigative journalist until Anil realized that a man nearly beat me in a former P&M Attorney General nearly beat me up in West Paul car park for bad talking he girl. But me ain't sure if it was he girl because the next one had it in West Hills. Me ain't know what going on. But he nearly beat me for the next man girl. No big thing. But then when I told the world on radio that Asha Javid was loving up Small Pin Young since 2014 while writing articles against Anil Roberts' live sport, a set of nonsense, a set of lies, 27 front pages, 92% rubbish and lies. That's why all you can't see what they want the police to do. Lock up for lies, good luck to all you. But go ahead, the Express pushed that down with throat. But as soon as they realized the truth that she had an affinity for P&M and not UNC, they move out of business. She just jump out again when Delcy visit come and say she see the clause. Like when she wake up, Stuart Young hand she the clause and say, baby, look the clause here, honey. This is a sanction clause. Come, let me sanction you right now. Then them print that in the Express. And all you feel is a joke in this country. But the Express now, even they realize the stupidity of what is going on. Because Keith Christopher Rowley is so desperate. He can't bring a manifesto yet. He can't tell you a policy. Kamala talking jobs. Obika down here in Point Fortin talking 1,000 jobs. Talking development, talking sport, talking youth, talking culture, talking pan, talking gas, talking agro-processing. And Rowley talking, yes, the police looking for 2 ministers, boy. They're looking for them. Oh, God, look. I have it in the Guardian. Yes, Rowley. Congratulations. Even the Express says, investigations into matter involving opposition politics should be of concern to all citizens regardless of political affiliation. One does not have to be cynical to be suspicious about the fact that supposedly damning information contained in a police-compiled status report has been placed in the public domain on the eve of a general election with a campaign in full swing. The fact that police reports on both should now be released anonymously to the public with the elections just 3 weeks away raises disturbing questions about motive. Even the Express had to find that is stupidness. What the police, and you have to add that to Small Pin going in the Joint Select Committee and stating on 7 occasions printed in the Express that police reporting to him on where Jolene John was and who Muniral texts and who Saddam Hussein talked to. Police reporting to a Minister of National Security, and all you intelligent people out there, all of you former commissioners of police and acting inspectors, all of you senior counsel and former lawyers and judges, you all saw nothing wrong with that. When you saw Stuart Smallpin Young in the operation center while riots were going on and Gary Griffith and his police officers were conducting an ongoing operation, you all thought that's okay for a member of the executive who them same police should be investigating because of his actions and the way he's so close to money. You see, boss man Smallpin, and he'll far from money because that's how you govern. But you and Rowley, close to it, only went to Australia, drink scotch and eat shrimps, went and meet with Hostal and Incat, come back and tell dotish people there's a government when there's no such thing. All we did was borrow money from Australia. We could have borrowed money from Zimbabwe. We could have borrowed money from Ghana. We could have borrowed money from China. We could have borrowed money from Japan. It don't matter, I borrow you to pay back that. That is not government to government. Government to government involves government owned or government shareholding in companies. The Australian government has no shareholding whatsoever in Hostal or Incat, and you and Rowley went and they meet with the CEOs and tell them, yes, bring the proposal to me, I Smallpin, and you head up a committee and you analyze the bids and you determine who could bid and who can't bid, and then your committee contact one and the price was high and you tell them about the other one price and they lower the price, and then you and Rowley and them in the cabinet decide to give one with $1.2 billion. And now they're talking about Anil. Really? Under any program, anything Anil Roberts did, he followed the rules, Ministry of Finance rules. So they were public servants, contracted workers paid for with taxpayers' dollars who had their job to do and had their procurement to do, the HR to do, the invitations to do, the tender process to do. So if you all have anything wrong, deal with them. But don't be calling Anil name and putting picture and innuendo to try and get votes still. 6 years? Come on now. So the Express continued. On the police status report, give cause for concern about the identity, agenda of those who chose to release such information during an election campaign. Releasing such evidence not only risks damaging the reputation and political chances of individuals whose names have been associated with both companies. Exactly, Express. But you know what the Guardian say? Here the Guardian. Yes, we believe in the principle of innocent until proven guilty. But whoever name was in allegations, well, they should not go up for office because they're allegations. Guardian always really read what you all write on the opinion page of your newspaper. Are you all so sick? How can you believe in innocent until proven guilty but say, well, once there are allegations, you shouldn't offer yourself again? Okay. Well, what about when your prime minister who you promoted and supported went in Parliament and lied on everybody, including the Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, about Emailgate, about conspiring to murder, bugging the DPP office and so on. Why y'all didn't come out and say, but Gary Griffith cannot be the Commissioner of Police because Rowley made allegations against him. Guardian, y'all are sick. Rowley is a complete stranger to the truth. And so Rowley's allegations and nothing is the same thing. He's a desperate clown who has suffered black people throughout his 4 years and 11 months. And do you know who want to vote out Rowley more than people who support Kamala? Black African Trinbagonians who supported him and are disappointed in him and embarrassed by him. Tobagonians don't want to see him. He wouldn't forgive them. Them don't care about you, boy. They may care. You will have to go by Butch Stewart and go and lie in a sandals, boy. Nobody want you. So when you read this thing about the live sport article in the Express, look how funny they are. But they put my picture here, but on the online, I look good in a blue suit with a nice blue and orange. It really look good. It went with my complexion. The black man look good. Live sport probe, here the Express. 2 former government ministers and several senior officials of the Ministry of Sport continue to be focus of a probe by police into allegations of corruption in live sport. Then they went on to write 1,860 words and not one mention of any allegation about the Minister of Sport whatsoever. But if they start off with the Minister of Sport, brilliant. Y'all could print how much y'all want and that will help y'all win. Y'all are such dishonest clowns, it's not funny. But you see, the people realize that social media now, they could get the truth. So all this nonsense about the perception being pushed in people's brain by newspapers like y'all is over. Then, let me tell y'all something, I see they put a big Guardian, big front page now. EMBD. Let me get something pull up on my phone too, Let me see if I have that, boy. EMBD, they say what? Babylon Books come in, arrest come in and so on in EMBD case. Yes, man. Right? I read through this whole article. This entire article. And you know what this entire article, exactly what it said? Let me read for you. But not from this, you know. Let me read for you from this. 200 million fraud claim. State goes after Munilal cartel contractors. October 8, 2017. The state is soon to start legal action against former government minister Dr. Rudal Munilal. One allegations of bid rigging with respect to some 10 contracts through the Estate Management Development Company. Minister in the Office of the Attorney General Stuart Young disclosed yesterday that government has also, through the Estate Management and Business Development Company (EMBD), first claims the court against the contractors for alleged cartel arrangements of attempts to defraud. Those claims were filed last Thursday. The contractors, TN Ramnath Company Limited, Mutalan Ramhit and so on, Calco who paving all over Trinidad. Anywhere I go Laure see Calco. I go they go see Calco. I go Woodbrook see Calco. I go St. Augustine Calco. Toko Calco. Chagonas Calco. I come down Point Fortin. Namalco. But look. Namalco, look. Construct Cartel 2017, Rowley, corruption, Calco, Namalco. I never see big truck, so I never see big truck. So what happened? No more cartel. It's only vibes. No more cartel. Ain't Rowley? Well, let me tell all you something. The exact same story from 2017 is regurgitated here Sunday. I only get excited with that. Not one iota of difference. Not one. And to Mark Bassant. Since you're gone CNC3 and got GML, boy, they buy out nice, boy. You're quiet and you're only printing old story. You ain't interested in Delcy, in PDVSA, in Maduro, in narco trafficking. You're not interested in money laundering and Paria and ES Euro trading and Wilmer Rupetti and Trapegura and Mondelo and US sanctions and the US State Department and Mike Pompeo. How they get so quiet, a little money, boy? Bassant? Boy, you got to reprint that story from 2017 on the eve of election? Yes, that go save all you. You just, instead of 26 seats now, you just lost 2 more. You're down to 28. Good luck, Rowley. So Rowley then goes on the platform in Tobago. And he said, boy, Tobago East is not a marginal. You're very correct. All you done lost Tobago East by about 11 points. Tobagonians want to burn the whole Red Army out of Tobago. And your ball, what Watson Duke is a UNC? What are you trying to say? Don't vote for Indian again. That worked in 2013. People not on that. Try something new now. What you say? Watson Duke come on a Calcutta ship? Watson Duke come out in mother womb right there in Tobago. It had no ship. And it had no Douglas. Watson Duke is a black man. Rowley say you are no bag man. But let me ask you all this. Since Rowley talking corruption. Rowley best friend Noel Garcia of 45 years, who was with him in Las Alturas, Commission of Inquiry, findings against him, who was with Rowley right through. He come into government in 2015 and hear what Rowley give Noel Garcia to spend. Listen, because Rowley not corrupt. Now keep in mind, to fight corruption, you must try to make the process as long as possible with as many people as possible. So it's very difficult to have influence. When you shorten the process, the distance between decision makers, meaning ministers, and goods providers, corruption is rife. Easy, because it's right here. Right here, close. Look what Rowley did. Rowley want to talk corruption. Noel Garcia is in charge of building fire station, police station, sports stadia, community centers, Red House, President House, Tobago Prime Minister House, Magnificent 7 refurbishment, Tobago Airport, Tobago Fire Station, Tobago Hospital, health centers, and all HDC homes. One man. When Kamala was in charge, that work was done by 8 different chairmen, 50 different board members, 3 different or 5 different ministers. And all you say, UNC Kamala steal. So with all them people, all them spots, that was thief. But when Rowley do all of that between one man, he best friend, that ain't no thief. Eh? Because Rowley's Mother Teresa and Noel Garcia is Gandhi. Eh? And he want to talk corruption. Rowley is such a disingenuous stranger to the truth. I don't even know how people who know you just watch you in your face, boy. You're pathological beyond words. Noel Garcia, he also, no, that wasn't enough for Rowley, you know. And let me just tell you all, that's about $2.7 billion per year for 5 years. That's $13.5 billion that one man spent. That's great corporate governance. Now you all know why procurement legislation was never proclaimed. But you know that wasn't good enough for Rowley. You know they plan to spend plenty money in the campaign. They're buying out all kind of TV station, all kind of thing. But the Douglas still beating them on Facebook. Them down by 1.1K. Douglas by 3.8. Oh God. The Douglas is not even a candidate. Eh? And all you can beat me? Rowley, come out the thing, bow out nicely now. Bow your bald head. Because this black bald head tell you you're a blank man. Noel Garcia also in charge of all the campaign money. The entire campaign, all the money they're spending. He and Andrew Gabriel, how you going, my brother? You listening good? Hey, Andrew Gabriel? All right, brother. All you going good? And this is done without campaign finance reform that Rowley promised. When Kamala was in charge, for all of y'all who like the perception that the newspapers, Guardian, Answer Makal, during Rowley's reign from 2016, 2017, 2018 into 2019, average $1.6 billion pre-tax profit on average under Rowley, while all your bus, all your lost jobs, all your petrotrin shut down, 103,000 people without work. He take away all your URP, CPEP, bus, UTT, throat closed down, MIC, NESC. But Answer McCall, the owners of Guardian Media Limited. Why all you feel people so stupid? I see all you come down here, I passing Guapo. I remember Errol Fabian used to say he like to go Guapo. You know them paving road now 3 weeks before election. Where will the people in Guapo go say, oh my goodness, look, they pave, let me vote for them? But people stupid at all here because you're disrespecting people intelligence. Kamala say one board for one person when she was in charge. Kamala say no family members of ministers on boards. Kamala say one chairmanship per person. Rowley have people whose chairman has 5 different boards and so on. Each ministry must do their own thing. Not everybody go under UDCOT under one man. And no interlocking directorships. But yet you all people, the intelligent people, the media, prefer to say Kamala and her government was corrupt. But when Rowley puts his best friend, Noel Garcia, his next best friend, Newman George, Gasolina Man, and then his lawyer, personal attorney, who even if he finds something wrong with Rowley thing, he can't talk because he's lawyer-client privilege, in charge of Heritage Petroleum. You all say that's great corporate governance, that's best practice. That is the way to cut out corruption, to put your friend and family close, and hug them tight, like how Small Pin does hug up Asha Javid in West Hills. Remember that corporate governance, as I said before, as sweating in Point Fortin is alright. And I in the Obika jersey, all you understand? Obika taking Point Fortin. Why? You want to know why? Because the people fed up. I telling you, we're not going in no noise at Obika coming to interview him. But all across this constituency, they fed up. They want a young, intelligent son of the soil who will deliver on promises to the people, who will not disrespect them and discard them, who will go in cabinet and fight for resources for his people of Point Fortin. Not sit down there and just take what Rowley tell you or take what Small Pin. Take Chuck from Small Pin. Eh? We sending big pin men into cabinet, no small pin. When you have corporate governance, the Ministry of Finance rules the process. It protects the treasury and it protects ministers. So when you have a minister like me, Anil Roberts, all the live spot, all you want to talk, it had process, it had people. Live spot had its own board, it had its own organizational structure, it had the sport company board, the sport company CEO, it had corporate secretary, it had permanent secretary, Ministry of Sport officials. They were in charge. They had to follow process. If anybody do anything wrong, police deal with them. But good luck in dealing with somebody who did not spend a cent, did not get involved. That's why all you have to play innuendo and games. Rowley, come out. I dare you to come out in your next speech and you're bad ballin'. Come out and say Anil Roberts thief from Lightspot. Just say those words. Straight up the court you're going by. You're clown. I would like to applaud the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service for the effort to link me and other ministers or whatever the paper's saying to wrongdoing. I like that. All you're showing good effort, good passion to run down nothing. Well, I want to ask you all something. Show me the passion. How come you have put so much effort in Camille's statutory declaration and the 143,000 cash she walk in her bank and sign her form, and it turned out that what she signed was not the truth? But she telling black people she will lock them up if they sign something that's not correct for a hamper or a little rental grant that they never get anyway. Why are they running down that Camille case? What happened? You afraid she beat you with the wig? What it is? Huh? What about called a hard perjury case from way back in 2010? Where he went under oath and said that is not my family, and Vernon Lima went and get the passports and show that is the family. What about that case? All you do is want to go Miami, ride in Miami and get a statement, but you're running down thing, you're chasing ghosts, and all your PNM police. What about the alleged bid rigging of Hostal and Incat bid? All you have to do is look at Stuart Smallpin's press conference where he confessed. He just said, you just take his statement all public. What happened to that kid? All you run him down, but all you working with him in the operation center, and all you feel is a joke. What about Dylan and his million US gift? Did he declare that on his integrity forms? A minister cannot receive anything over $5,000. If it's over $5,000 as a gift, you have to, well, some say 2,000, 3,000, but I think it went up to 5,000. You have to declare, did he declare his million US gift? That Rowley say, well, he get a gift. So contractors could just give ministers $1 million gift under PNM. And all they say, that's great. Great is the PNM for true, boy. Just have all you confused. What about Ala Rental? 23 million and 38 million to outfit his own building as a sitting member of the cabinet as Attorney General. What about Section 24.1 and 27.1 of the Integrity in Public Life Act? Babylon, all ain't checking that? All ain't checking that wrong with that? Furthermore, if he say he recused himself, then the cabinet meeting was not justified, was not legal, and there was no quorum because you need an Attorney General in a cabinet in order to produce results in a meeting. So if he recused himself, who was Attorney General? What about the NCB Global Finance just winning tender just so? Beating Republic Bank, First Citizen Bank, Scotia Bank. All I want to check out that, how come they just tender so nice? As soon as Small Pin swear in, he brother get bright. All they didn't find that acceleration in intelligence a little bit suspect. What about the fake call? Oh, you can't check that out. Okay. And what about Delcy, PDVSA, Rowley, Small Pin, Gasolina, and Refinery, the 700 million and Roger? What about that? Condition 7 with Trafigura. All you ain't bother with that? What about the Bridgeman's deal? You see how much? I happy all your police working hard, boy. And sending out things to the papers hard, alright. Where all you work with these things? Where the Bridgeman's crooked deal that Rowley called crooked. But he is the Prime Minister, approved the money by Prime Ministerial approval and went for covering cabinet approval. But lie to the Tobagonians and say it went through the normal cabinet process. But then Small Pin had to waste many years. Boss, the plane. We were in Tobago. We went on the plane, boss. We went on the plane. Remember that? What about Grabby Wabby and the 150,000? Now they say he ain't grab nothing. Just so? So the grab disappear? I wonder if the girl thinks so. Minister of Health wife company just winning contract all of a sudden by a convent girl the Alsing? What about the flawed illogical process? What about the Galleon's Passage? Ministers purchase a Galleon's Passage when the instruction, which should have never happened anyway, because you needed a board, tenders committee, evaluation committee, permanent secretary, F&GP. But you, Rowley, you create a ministerial team with Imbat, Champakojo, LaHunt, and Small Pin, and they were supposed to lease a fast ferry, and they buy a slow boat to China that people only vomiting on. 120 million. Ministers buying a boat? Where in the history of Trinidad and Tobago all you ever see that? And all you're calling other people thief? We will take a little break and then we come back because I'm sweating down in Point Fortin. We here with the next member of parliament for Point Fortin, Tahaka, Obika, and the people. We taking it from Point into Labre straight up into Red House. We coming back.
My name is David Nakid, and I'm the UNC candidate for MP for Tunapuna. And it has been a fantastic experience until now. And we look forward every day to improving the lives of the people of our constituency. One of the things that I find tremendous joy in is walking through the constituency and getting to know the people across the political divide, whether they be for any party. I like to hear their concerns.
My name is Donnie Goodrich. I'm from the constituency of Tunapuna. It has been 19 days. Our Tunapuna candidate, Mr. David Nakid, has been on the ground, touching the lives of our neglected residents. Come out and put your X by the rising sun. Vote UNC.
Tunapuna has real potential for growth and development. It must be taken forward. Now is the time for something different. Join me and together we will make that difference. On August 10th, rise early, say your prayers and go out and vote for me, David Nakid, and the United National Congress. Thank you.
Welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to Douglas Politics. Turn down that. The DJ gone, man. Well, hear the music. It's alright. The DJ reached back. He went to vote early. Yes. So Rowley said that the Dutch turned down that write-down. The Dutch investigating an ex-minister. So Rowley is the corruption buster. He started to talk about diamond vessels that were purchased in 2015. And he started to attack Austin Blackman Jack Warner. Here the problem, Rowley. Austin Blackman Jack Warner, who's a real black man, who went into FIFA through the TTFA in 1983 and brought football to all African countries, brought investment, took football out of the hands of the Europeans, brought equity across the board, increased football playing nations from 160 odd right up to 207, got football investment in Ivory Coast, West Africa, Ghana, South Africa, all over. And then the Caribbean 31 territories became official members of FIFA under Austin Blackman Jack Warner. So you say, they have fan down in Point Fortin. So you say now, attacking Jack Austin Warner, that the Minister of National Security in 2014, 2015, when the diamond vessels were purchased, has some questions to answer. Well, any problem, Duncy head. The Minister of National Security at that time was Gary Griffith. So you come to lie on Gary Griffith again? Jack Warner was out of the cabinet. Jack Warner was in ILP. Jack Warner was meeting with you down in Westmoreland by Kennedy Silver talking about how to win election. But you're calling Jack Warner name. Very interesting. You don't do your research and thing. You're nervous. You're desperate. You're afraid nobody. Okay. Thank you very much. Watson Duke running for UNC in Tobago, and Watson Duke ain't running for no UNC. Watson Duke running to beat you, to bust your tail, to run you out of Tobago, because Tobagonians have never suffered as much as they suffered under you for the 4 years and 11 months. I don't have to tell Tobagonians nothing. Tobagonians waiting for you, Rowley, and you come and bring back champagne the next one. Tobago East is not a marginal. You're correct. Now, I don't know if it's a sickness in the PNM, because Laurel Lazama leasing. The Douglas find you are a lovely, intelligent, good woman. But like when you lime too much or you meet too much with clowns, some of it is rub off. Put up what Laurel Lazama leasing tried to say. Laurel, don't disappoint the Douglas. Leave me now. Let me don't deal with you now. She put up this thing to say something about Kamala and black talk and race talk, and it's disgusting, and that's really, Laurel? When you know you're an intelligent woman, you listen to the entire 45-46 minute speech, and you know it's blank, man. You know it's blank, and all you balling is, oh, she said black. Even if you all say you all hear black, the thread of the speech, black does not fit. So she just talking about, oh, well, I'm going to cook a paratha and roti, and I'd like to have some pilau and corn soup, black. That makes sense? You have to follow the trend, the thread of the speech. Rowley is a blank man. The blank man does nothing. I see black man I go deal with all you. The next one. Put it up there, Archie. Because Rowley said in 2015 in St. James Those laptops that lady's giving you all, I'm going to take it away from you. I'm going to take away those laptops. And some black people, my Afro-Trinbagonian people in St. James, with the PNM Women's League meeting in St. James, they clap. And I was watching and I saying, but what's wrong with my black people? Don't they realize that Rowley, the elitist golf playing, Oreo cookie, I was saying to them that laptops will only be for rich people? And don't tell me, and then don't say Oreo, don't call him Oreo. Oreo is a serious thing, I don't say it lightly. The man is a black man in power, and every policy that he has implemented has suffered black people. What else do you want to call him? What else? His policies help small pin brother, small pin father, Faris al Rawi al Rental al Tight Pants, Franklin Khan, the Al Singh, Espine. Which one of them black? Or you give the Douglas a chance. Give me a rest, ease me up. But look, put it back up there, Archie. Look at the bottom of this school's book list. This is for government secondary school. After it goes all the books and so on, down at the bottom, you lift it up a bit. Right, yes, but Archie's a boss boy. We're getting real technology. One laptop computer that you people, the parents, have to buy. Look at it. Don't say the Douglas. Hey, Archie, swell it up more. Get rid of me and let them read it. You could swell it? Or that the biggest? Right. Look there. General supplies. One laptop computer. Dell, HP, Asus, Lenovo. Basic specs. 14-inch screen. 1.6 GHz processor. 2 USB ports. HDMI. 500 GB. Hard drive. Windows 10 4 GB RAM. Wi-Fi. Bluetooth. Kamla was giving all of that. Kamla was giving black people that. Kamla was giving black people that. And I will take it and tell you buy it. And then tell me vote for he. He's not a Oreo. What all you want the Douglas say again? What you want me say? If you have 3 children, that man tax you an extra $18,000. Kamla was giving you that for your children to move. To close the inequity, to make the playing field more even, for poor people, children to battle at SCA and CAPE and so on. But let me tell you something, as I say SCA and CAPE, as of next year, the Douglas is proposing the total and complete ban on all testing. Don't clap, because it's joke I'm making, I don't want you to clap that, No testing, whether in end of term tests for primary school students, no SCA, no Form 1 end of term tests, no O levels, no A levels, no degrees, no university tests at UTT, COSTAT, no more tests. Master's program, PhD, internship, doctor, lawyer, no more testing. The Douglas is proposing a total ban on tests. Because it appears when you don't test, you just do great. Because the PNM test no COVID and all you say them do great. So all we go do next year, when we ban tests, say all the children, all you're great, all you're bright, all is doctor, all is surgeon. You, oh gosh, yes, no test. So you go in the court and argue a case. Oh, you could be a professor, no test. That's what all you're telling me. That Rowley and them do good with the COVID and them test nobody. Them see people outside a bar and decide, hey, let's shut it down. Not one swab, not a cough, not a spittoon, nothing. And only saying that good. So from next year, I propose based on that celebration that all tests be banned. And then we'll ban the Olympics too, because why train hard and win medal? And they forget that that's a test. What else do you have there? There's a video here of a PNM lady. Now I really shame this lady, because I really thought as a doctor, as an intelligent woman, I could have expected something from her. In 5 years, I could have expected some performance and some upliftment in culture, in arts, in education, something. But 5 years and nothing. Play it.
It is not every country that has free primary and secondary education. But we accept it as normal here because these are the products of our political decisions in Trinidad and Tobago. We all know that education is the #1 way to climb out of poverty, to improve your standard of living. And we all encourage our children to go to school, pick up your books. We all recall the statement of Dr. Eric Williams that the future of our country is in the school bags of our children. But these are all political decisions that shape our lives, shape the culture of our country, and impact just how Trinidad and Tobago progresses. These are fundamental, life-changing decisions. And therefore, if political decisions are so important, then we should not, as citizens of this country, leave representation to chance.
In other words, thank you, Dr. Naya and Gadsby Dolly. You have to vote for Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the United National Congress, because everything she said there is what Kamla, Tim Gopi Singh and Fazal Karim were doing from 2010 to 2015. And since she came in the government with Keith Rowley, they took away textbook grants, 100 million per year, 500 million. They took away your laptops and are now telling you to buy it for your children. They did not build one school. They did not finish the early childhood centers. Even here in Chatham, they have children driving 30 minutes across from Chatham Primary School to go in an early childhood center to go and do primary school. Big children, 7, 8 years old, sitting down on baby chair, getting arthritis at 9 years old. That's what them did. They took away everything. They took away school feeding. They took away COSTAT. They closed down MIC. They closed down NESC. They shut them down. They cut funding to COSTAT. They cut funding to UTT where it is a skeleton of itself. But talking that education is the key. And Dr. Williams said that books must be in the bag. And Rowley take all the books and throw it in the ocean. So therefore, Dr. Gadsby Dolly, thank you. Anybody who compares Kamla, Tim, and Fazal Karim against Rowley, Mr. Arima, what you name, Garcia, and Lovell Duns Francis, who wanted to have a fete in the ocean for everybody to drown, get electrocuted, and dead. Right? And think about this. In this election, Rowley fired both of his ministers of national security in a failing government. So them is the worst, them is the bottom of the barrel in a failed government. So who you have to vote for come education? Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the United National Congress, from Point Fortin straight up to Matlot, across the Carnage, down to Chaguanas East, all in San Fernando West. Well, boy, that boy can't campaign. He had a duck from Blues. Now, I see there's an article by Tutor. Archie, you get ready, eh? Because I don't want them to say the Douglas lie. This is in today's Newsday, Tuesday, July 21st. Tutor President Antonia De Freitas is appealing to candidates for the upcoming general election to tone down their campaigning in the vicinity of schools, as there are students preparing for and sitting important examinations currently. She said that there are secondary school students sitting CAPE and CSEC examinations, while SEA students will return to school on Monday, which is yesterday. She said teachers have already reported disruptions from loudspeakers as candidates carry out their walkabouts. Now, if I tell you that I told you that Keith Christopher Rowley has no heart, has no plan, has no care, and makes decisions vai-ki-vai, that if I was to tell you that I told you all beforehand, why would a man put SEA on the 20th and then come and call an election on August 10th to disturb my children? All you feel I would just be bigging up myself and gallerying. I really didn't say that. Archie, play the tape from about 3 weeks ago or a month ago now. Play it. Come to announce with a whole bag of weave that the CPL coming to Trinidad August 18th. SEA is August 20th. So the greatest party in sport now. So the whole election now. So y'all gone and put a SEA exam on August 20th. Let's follow your intelligent logic. The cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago, the highest intellectual meeting in the entire country. All of the best minds get together in that cabinet meeting to formulate policy that will impact all of our lives. Let's follow your thought processes. Y'all come and say, yes, SEA, August 20th. Parents, children, right, they're ready. Or they try to bribe the teachers and they didn't bother with that, right? But no big thing, exam set. The Douglas said thank you. Finally, the stress of the parents and the children could be at ease. They have a target date and they could settle down to work. Then just so, a man get frightened. We afraid nobody and call an election, bam! Even before he know election want to come. But he afraid nobody. He afraid Trump. He afraid Pompeo. He afraid the OFAC. He afraid the Treasury Department. He afraid no Yankee, no gasolina. Okay, boss. But you call your election, and you call our election on the 10th, while our children are studying for the exam that they already went through 5 months of extra torture and stress for. That's very considerate. But anyway, you wouldn't understand that because you're a father who leave your son for 44 years and didn't care. And then come and say, look, my boy. Look, my boy in whom I'm pleased. So I know you wouldn't care. Now, on top of that now, other than election with music truck blasting and going through my children's head who have to study for the exam, you now come and announce CPL cricket with foreigners coming in from all over while local suffering cannot come in. And on top of that, the greatest party in sport. So cricket, music, alcohol, drinks, excitement, and my children have exam on August 20th. But you starting CPL on August 18th. That's very considerate. Vote yellow for brain. Vote yellow for a plan. Vote UNC for discussion, for understanding, for care. You have Rowley who does not care nothing. How could you, any father, anybody who understand and love children would have known you cannot put no election when my little children are studying? But the man is callous and heartless. You feel it takes a man with a heart to leave Labray and Point Fortin with roads like this? Good thing my pickup have some big thick tires to look at the sports grounds in this area with razor grass. Monkey look like them just hide inside there so the children can't play no football. No jobs, close down everything and just leave people to suffer, take their laptops, close down school, no finish no school that Kamala had building 95% and so on. And now tutor is saying exactly what I said about 3 weeks ago when Rowley called the election, whenever that was. And I said, but this man had to be clueless. How are you going to do that? It's going to cause a disruption for children. But it's all right. Y'all want a man who cannot even call an election and keep children happy to run an economy that he collapsed pre-COVID. After COVID, the man shut down everything. Shut down Petrotrin, 103,000 jobs lost. Point Lisas, he negotiated the price. Now you see why them men was so happy to negotiate with a dance. Them men get 67% increase in profit if we negotiate with them. And them go up 67%. And we will go down 67%. It's called a zero-sum game. So when you get a Boboli, you just outsmart him. Them see Rowley and them must be smart. After them negotiating with them, you can imagine them after eating shrimps and drinking scotch and the boy. We really catch that man. That man so stupid. Jerry Brooks and all that to resign. Them would have been laughing at you and put you on a plane to go back to Trinidad and Tobago with small pin. So the PNM is now the PNM is the government. They happen to have lied their way into government for the last 4 years and 11 months. They're now announcing with 3 weeks to go in an election, the PNM is now going to release sometime just now the manifesto. Oh God, I don't even know. You used to just end this thing and just vote 39 UNC and 2 PDP and end this story, because y'all cannot be serious. This man now going to come with a manifesto. Kamala Fasad Bisesa. UNC Plan 2020 was there before COVID, 2 months before COVID. She adapted for after COVID, and it's there for all you to read it. He now going to write a manifesto and bring it to all you to read within 18 days to dissect it. But you know what is the dangerous thing? Let me read another editorial, and that's why you must not read these papers when you're deciding how to vote, because the Newsday is Judy Raymond, and she refused to tell me who she liked more, Rowley. Who she liked more with a camera, Rowley. Who she feels she took closer with, Rowley. She refused to tell me, Rowley. Right? She don't tell me. I keep asking her who she liked more. If she liked Kamala or she liked the blank man. She like me? Nah, I don't like ugly woman. Anyway. Let me go. Let me read an editorial. Let me read the editorial. Hard questions to answer on oil and gas. And Newsday editorial, section A, Monday, July 20th. The management of the economy, while clearly in need of greater liberalization and relaxation of government controls and intervention, has been disastrous. Right? But it has been stifling to the point of encouraging stagnation. Kevin Ramnarine had analyzed the failure of Rowley's energy policy and the cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago in moving us forward. The Newsday tried to obfuscate a bit and say, but Kevin, and Kevin is not one for drama. Eh? Kevin is more of a diplomat, not like the Douglas. Kevin is go calm and nice. So when Kevin goes and says it's a disaster and gives you the statistics and so on, you know he's just doing it calmly. The Newsday tried to say, well, you're a bit harsh, Kevin. But they say it's not really bad, it's a crisis. So them contradict themselves. But that was not the point, you know. They then, after all of that, the Newsday comes to a conclusion. And hear them now. All of this political talk on the hustings, this is just talk. The people want more than just talk and idle promises. They want detailed plan and how you're going to do it and what you're going to do and where you're going to do it. So both parties need to do it. So the Newsday editor, you have not read the UNC Plan 2020 that has been there for about 6 months? You haven't read that detailed plan that gives you clear, smart objectives, tells you exactly where the 50,000 jobs coming from, tells you how growth is going to be engendered in the economy by cutting tax, getting the machinery going with the small and medium-sized businesses, cutting corporate tax, creating jobs and pushing the economy into a 2% growth, not borrowing as much money. You didn't see that? The diversification into agro-processing, into downstream industries in the oil and gas, the better management, the incentives for bid rounds to go for exploration in deep water and so on. You all didn't read that entire plan that is there? Or did you read it and you're dishonest? It could only be one of two options. Because if Kamala has said it 14 times in the last 6 weeks, UNC Plan 2020, read it, go on the website, read it, and you are an editor and you didn't read it. Either you are a dunce or you lie. Which one it is? And you are writing to cause perception in our minds and the minds of our population, and you all are serious, you all have no integrity. Have you all studied journalism? So the Alsing says, Point Fortin Hospital up and running by Mountain. Well, I nearly choke on my coffee. I not from Point Fortin. I up in Dago and I sipping my coffee, watching my dogs have fun and thing, playing. And I remember seeing Rowley and them cutting ribbon and thing and say, Point Fortin Hospital, it open. Never mind, it was Kamala and them who start and get it cracking after 50 years. But them said it finished. And it ready. So when I read this thing, I say, but Point Hospital up and running by Mountain, but them didn't just say it open. So what they open? Run the video now, Archie. Archie, there was a little video there. I now drive past to verify this video that all you're going to see. Run it for 45 seconds.
Yes, people. This is a hospital that opened on Saturday by your Prime Minister and the Minister of Health. 2 waste of time. Watch people still working in this hospital here. They get it completed. The roads leading to the hospital, check it. No paving, excavator, roller, tractor, truck, paving machine, everything pack up, nothing can go up, down. The work is incompleted, the hospital is incompleted, still have people working on the grounds inside to get it complete, yet still the rush and open it. To do what? Nothing was done properly. The paved piece of road here in order for them to drive upon. Check this next.
Yes. Rowley, they all say, and the same thing in Arima, you know. When they cut ribbon and open, people call me from Arima about 12 days later. But boss, we can't get a Panadol, you know, them open thing. Let me tell you something. Stop mamagaing people. People are not silly. People are intelligent. People require caring. People understand that you can't do everything, but you must do more than nothing. And don't come on the eve of election paving road and fixing thing. Na Malco truck or the amount I pass about 12 na Malco truck. Bars can open till 10 p.m. from tomorrow. From tomorrow, says the Alsing. Can you all explain to me on what science these decisions are being made? First it was 10 p.m. and then they cut it down to 8 p.m. They test nobody. Nobody test positive. No community spread. Borders closed. Nobody come in. But it closed. Why did it say 10 p.m.? COVID does get more intense at 10:01. Why did they cut it down to 8 p.m.? Because they saw 3 pictures in the newspaper with crowd gathering. But if crowd gathering without community spread and no COVID, because y'all are the best, because Oxford say so, never mind you test nobody. What you're doing. So now how the decision has been made now to open back to 10 o'clock. All you test anybody? You took 3,400 tests spread out across Trinidad and Tobago, across the 85,000 bars, and you all deduced that it is safe to open. What science are you using? And people in Trinidad and Tobago, all you buy that and have a Rasta man with a Yankee voice up in America. Hey man, vote PNM because that Indian lady, yeah man, she's going to just take all the jobs. No dude, that Indian lady had URP jobs in Laventille, where you from, Chumakak and so on. That lady had 120 projects going on, the Indian lady. And your African man, the Dr. Rowley, he dropped that down to 20 projects, man. And then you know that Indian lady, dude, that Indian lady was giving black people laptops, man. And your Dr. Rowley, he took those laptops, man. The Indian lady said, oh, my poor black people, let me buy textbooks for you to be bright. And you know what Dr. Rowley did? He took those textbooks, man. You know that Indian lady? She said, my poor black people, they need to eat some food so the kids could go study. You know what Dr. Rowley did, man? He cut school feeding by 45 million, man. Had our black children hungry. So you keep your Yankee Rasta tail up there, man, and don't talk about what's going on down here. All right, man. Yeah, rock on, man. From one clown to the next. Dr. Vishnu Bishram. I tell all you on Douglas politics, forget these doctors. Whether Dr. Winford, PNM James, Dr. Clown Vishnu Bishram and the Council for Ethical Politics that had nothing to say when Maxi Coffee say Indian keeping the knee on the neck of African. You had nothing to say. You had nothing to say when a potential candidate for Port of Spain south of the PNM uses the most vile language and tells people to run up in UNC People House and deal with them seriously. You had nothing to say, Dr. whatever your name is, Council of Dunces. Now you are saying that the council is going to investigate black or blank. You're going to investigate something that didn't occur? Why? So you are just, why you all don't go and see if the emails were real too? What are you talking about? You clown? Did you listen to the speech? Archie, play a bit of it for me now. Play a little bit of Kamala. Whole speech. She calling the man blank man, blank man, blank man. Dr. Vishnu, whatever his name. What his name? Dr. Vishnu Raghunath. clown of all clowns, like Bali says, your toilet paper. That is the kind of stupidness you're talking. The lady never said that. Her whole speech is blank, blank, blank. You going to investigate something that didn't happen? Play it now, Archie.
And his own party. And they say, if you don't know what I'm talking about, fill in the blanks. I don't have to name that man. You fill in the blanks. You could fill them in. And talking about blanks, what has Blank done for Trinidad and Tobago for the past almost 5 years? What has he done? Almost 5 years. What has Blank done for you as a citizen? I could answer that, not a blanking thing. He's not done a single blanking thing, Mr. Blank. So, if he's blanking you, what will you do come August 10th? Let us blank him out of office on August 10th and vote UNC. I want to show you a little video.
So please tell me, Dr. Bishnu Raghunath, where exactly black fits into that speech? Because I'm not so good at talking and communicating and so on. That's not my forte. I cannot talk very well. I don't understand things. I cannot break things down for people to understand. So I need you to help me because I don't, okay? Please tell me in a speech that is talking about blank, the theme, which means Rowley has done nothing. He is nothing. He's useless. He's a blank piece of toilet paper. That's what it means. Please tell me where black fits into that speech, please, that you are going to investigate, you blank clown. Rowley say, Jack wanna lie. Jack wanna say, boy, people, my black people of Trinidad and Tobago, I humbly apologize. I was hurt. I had a tabanka. I thought Kamala had treated me wrongfully, and I made a decision that I regret from the bottom of my heart, my black citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And those say that Jack Warner is not a black man. Jack Warner is a proud black man. Jack Warner helped black people all over this world. And in Trinidad and Tobago, as Minister of Works and Transport, I hear an echo turned on that. And black people across the board, as Minister of National Security, he understood and got programs going and was using community policing and so on. Jack Warner said, well, I was so hurt. I went and I meet with Rowley every Tuesday in Westmoreland. I'm sorry, because Patrick Manning tell me, boy, don't ever put Rowley and anybody doing who does do it in charge of Trinidad and Tobago. And Jack Warner said, boy, I ignore Patrick Manning. And I went and meet with Rowley. And we talk politics and things, and we try to make a plan. Rowley said, Jack lie. Yes, I meet him in Westmoreland. I thought he lie. Yes, I meet him by Kenny De Silva. I thought he lie. Well, he had talked something about local government in Chaguanas and the borough and thing, but we didn't agree with that. I thought you didn't talk politics. The man said Jack lie, then confirm everything Jack say. But Rowley, I don't know what level of dance you is, you know. You need to listen to yourself. He said Jack lie. And then everything, don't take the Douglas word for it, you know, here Rowley. In a Facebook post on Saturday morning, Rowley dismissed those claims, calling Warner a liar. Imagine email-gate calling Warner a liar. Imagine Delcy and Astrubal. I'm now discovering Astrubal, some guy, Astrubal Chavez and PDVSA. I didn't know. He wasn't from PDVSA, I'm now understanding. That man, Rowley of Renaissance, Rowley of Gravel Roll from a hospital to somewhere by he, Rowley of Greenvale, Rowley of building house in Edinburgh 500 that still can't finish because no approvals, Rowley who balled at Shanghai and Manning is corruption and then hug them up and give them a $1.2 billion contract to do the Central Block in Port of Spain, Rowley who called Manning corrupt because he met with one CEO and then goes on, Rowley meets with CEO every month and small pin. They meet with energy CEO, gas CEO, oil CEO, Chinese CEO, Malta CEO, biscuit CEO, or boat CEO, ferry CEO, anything them CEO. Because Oreo and CEO go together. But here Rowley, Jack Warner is a liar. I did meet him at Kenny's house because Kenny is a mutual friend, and we chatted generally. There was never any political deal made. Jack is lying. After the local election, he proposed to us that we could combine control. This is not a political discussion. That he proposed we could combine and so on, and we could get the council and the Shaguanas Borough and the mayor bill. That is not politics. What is that? Eh? Old talk. Right. So, Rowley, if we had to believe you and Jack, we believe Jack. Okay? But let me also tell you, Kenny De Silva, Jack say, well, if Kenny say it wasn't so, it wasn't so. Here, Kenny De Silva. Well, they met at my house as friends, which meant they met many times, which mean what Jack was saying was true. So, Rowley, you're on your own, boy. The Tobago don't want to see you. People in Point Fortin don't want to see you. Labrador don't want to see you. The whole country don't want to see you. Tunapuna don't want to see you. Maruga don't want to see you. Tableland don't want to see you. Toko don't want to see you. Barataria run you. Muslim run you because you went around telling the whole world that Trini Muslim is terrorists and terrorists. Believe me, they're terrorists. We have terrorist cells. And you went and play advertisement on every radio attacking Muslim. Now you're gone in a mosque. Who you feel you mama guy in? People don't forget, Rowley. Let me go on. Esmond Ford. All these BNM realized licks on the way, you know. Esmond Ford, he did an article in The Guardian, page 9, Sunday, July 19th. Here, Esmond Ford. I'm trying my best. Esmond Ford. That is what losers say, boy. When it's a complete failure, I'm trying my best. Why don't you just give up and come how the people think? If it's not, this thing is not for no softy, you know. I'm trying my best. And then, let me get tissue. Let me read Esmond Ford. Oh, God. Esmond said, in the area of crime, while he made it clear that this falls under the portfolio of the Commissioner of Police, Gary. Oh God, he blamed Gary. It's not nothing to do with that. Ford said his office was also working closely with several organizations like MIC Technology, multi-sector training, and the military and sporting clubs to facilitate career paths for some. We won some, we lost some. Oh God, Esmond. Esmond, you want some and you lost some, boy. Oh God, boy, Esmond. He admitted that while some progress has been made, some of them got lost in the cracks. Oh God, Esmond. Esmond, he said that he has a good relationship with companies in Macoya. But then, now Esmond had to get vexed with you now. Because like you take a page from Fitzgerald Hines' book. Eh? He said that black people, young black people don't want to work, they don't want to do nothing. I don't understand this, you know. Rowley say he's a black man. I don't remember the last time Rowley was black, to tell you. Black is not a color, you know. Black is a consciousness. Black is a heart. Black is a brain. Black is decision making that understands what people need to uplift themselves and what they were denied for centuries. That makes you black, not your color. Your color don't have nothing to do with nothing. They have some white people in Trinidad and think that blacker than Rowley. I could call a few. But understand this. Esmond Ford, you and Fitzgerald Hines, laying blame at the feet of your constituents, young black boys, and saying they're lazy, they don't want to sweat, they don't want to go to, they want to go to heaven, but they don't want to die. That is so disrespectful and disdainful. That's why they're burning all your jersey all over the country. That's why Jolene John have the whole of La Hoqueta, Talparo, Foster Cummins. Go and buy more jersey, boy. Them men making bonfire with your jersey. Why? Because you all are so disrespectful. You are the black party, and all your Esmond Ford now balling that the young black boys don't want to work. Them just want easy thing. But I telling you, this black man telling you, black people want to work. They want opportunity. They want jobs. They want education. They want Gamla to open back MIC and NESC and open back Petrotrain and let them make money. And all you feel they have to vote for all your why? Because you look like them on the outside, but your heart cold like white concrete on the inside. And all they want to talk race with the Douglas. Give the Douglas a little rest now. Well, now we reach the Wassa water. Rowley say Kamla and them turning off the water. Well, Lord have mercy. Rowley gone. The whole country under water. Point Fortin, we go hear from Senator Obika just now. Point Fortin struggling for water. At this office here, I went on the back porch. I count 9 tank. 9 tank. When I turn on the tap, sir, it has go and then it has disappear and then the pump just push it back. No water. It's these people at tank in Point Fortin. Across the country, people had no water, some 5 years, some 3 years, some 3 months, some 6 months. You know when Rowley realized people had no water? He got a call from Santa Margarita. And he came out, he was very angry, you know. He told the media, could you imagine? People in Santa Margarita had no water for 12 days. And all you tell me he black? Santa Margarita is the good old Park of the East. He only care about rich people. Well, leave them. Let only rich people vote for he and let them lose all 41 seats. Let me just remind you all of no water. And this was on Douglas Politics I did for the last, and this was about, I'm doing Douglas Politics was the 10 weeks on Facebook. The PNM pushed me off radio and I end up here. Oh, you're so stupid. Yeah, now. Kuchar and Trace, Gasparilla, Longdonville, Glencoe, Bocaro Road, Brazil, Petit Valley, Lamanti, Maracas Valley. This is all who had no water since February or March. Ojo Road, San Rigandi, Naparima, Couva South, Mayaro, Pinal, Debe, Barakpo, Arima, parts of Diego Martin, San Rafael, Esperance and Duncan Village, Manzanilla, Malabar phases 1, 3 and 4, Tumpuna Road, Greenville, Lauketa, Oropun Gardens, Golden Grove Road, Freeport, El Socorro. All you call out some in Point Fortin too. Congo Village, Ramai Trace, Katwaru Trace, Transfer Avenue, Chaitan Trace, Chatham, all over the place. See, just no water. But you are worried about Santa Margarita? Oh my goodness. Those rich people didn't have water for their pool. They could not do their laps. Oh gosh. Play the video now. Archie, play the Wassa. PNM cannot even give you water in this day and age. But you want them to handle post-COVID economic implications, job creation, crime situation, youth delinquency. That's what you all want them to handle. And they cannot even handle water. Run it.
During the past 5 years, Trinidad and Tobago has witnessed the worst water shortages in history.
It's happening more than 2 months now. This is going on about more than 3 years now. They give me water when they feel. Certain people getting water and other people getting water. And we are getting no water. Right? The minister over there, he getting water right. You know we are getting water here. Mr. Lovell.
Across our nation, from Mayaro to Toko, to Cedros to Chagonas, people have been crying out for water. Instead of fixing this disaster, Keith Rowley is, as usual, trying to dodge the blame. Meanwhile, the nation's taps go dry. Keith Rowley's friends and financiers have opened a multi-million-dollar water park. This is Trinidad and Tobago under Keith Rowley. Water for the wealthy, but none for the ordinary people to drink. Trinidad and Tobago is not suffering from too little water. Trinidad and Tobago is suffering from the overflowing incompetence of the PNM. On August 10th, end the drought. Vote the PNM out.
And then the editorials trying to say that all administrations have failed. While nobody has reached 100% 24/7 water supply, that is true. But the People's Partnership under Kamla Prasad Bisesa and Ganga Singh reached 74%. 24/7 supply across Trinidad and Tobago with a planned program over 4 years to mitigate the leaks by changing out all of the aging infrastructure. In comes Rowley, Small Pin, Faris, Rental, and Tight Pants, and the other bunch of clowns. And then they swaying Minister Hunt, who came with bravado and a nice picture in the Newsday as they did a PR piece for him to show that he was coming to save the day for the PNM. He came in and there were 2,800 leaks. He said by December 31st, 2017, I will have that down by 90%. It went up by 60%, up to 4,200 leaks. Over 4 billion gallons of water is lost by WASA as they turn on their pumps. So it is not about the reservoir. God has sent rain. We have collection. We have water. But if every time you put chlorine and you put chemicals and you turn it potable and you turn on your pumps to pump it to us, you waste half, more than half, then you will forever be empty in your reservoir. But the media and the editorials keep making excuses for them and saying that they are the same. The UNC had 74% of the population 24/7 supply. It is now down to 22% under my brother Pomsite Rasta Fitzgerald Hines, who's bad talk woman and call them yard foul, but like he never watch himself. So do not obfuscate, compare facts. The media is leaving our population without information. So you, the people, get information. Go and read the UNC Plan 2020. Don't wait for the PNM manifesto, because the last manifesto, when you read it, they may have accomplished about 7% maximum. And most of the things they did wasn't in there at all. It had no NCB Global Finance getting 3.62 billion. It didn't have no Faris or a rental and a tight pants getting no 61 million. It didn't have no Franklin Can wife building getting rent out. It didn't have the Alsing wife getting contract to do all kind of thing. It didn't have that. It didn't have shut down Petrotrin and bust people throat. It didn't have 103,000 jobs lost. It didn't have suffer black people throughout the country and cut funding for special needs children. It didn't have cut sport budget by 130 million per year. It didn't have none of that. But they do all of that. Well, August 10th, you had to do them back. Get rid of them across the board. Send them a shock from Point Fortin straight up to Lavantie. Beatum done start to show it already. Lavantie show it because the man Adrian Leon say a good man, but they put him down. They ain't listen to him. They put Small Pin on him. They put Dwayne on him. He had to go and call them for stuff and he not getting nothing to help all you. So what's the use, poor fella? If you're bright but you cannot even get to talk to your leader and get cabinet resources, then you're wasting time in politics. Rowley said Tobago better off with the MPs at the table. That's why you mustn't vote for PDP. Well, Shamfa was at the table and the other lady, I don't even remember her name, was at the table. But the table was bare, like Mother Hubbard cupboard. Rowley's a Tobagonian from Mason Hall. And yet Tobago never suffered like this last 4 years and 11 months. The Sea Bridge collapsed for 108 weeks. Tobago's economy has been shredded by some 14.6%, the most conservative figures. The tourism sector is decimated and was decimated pre-COVID. People have secondary job, their arts, their culture, their craft, everything gone. Tobago is a ghost town, and that's under Rowley. The only thing he tried to do was to bring a Sanders and give a white man 1 billion US, but then tell all the black Tobagonians, y'all share up 50 million. And why are y'all getting on and arguing? Y'all are ungrateful. So black people ungrateful for 4,000 rooms, 50 million. But one white man gets 7 billion. And you are a black man? Yes, my brother. Stay up. Now, Archie, we're getting ready to interview the next member of parliament for Point Fortin, this honorable senator, Tahaka Obika. But I want you to play a video to end off this segment for me, man. Play a video of the man. When you vote for a leader, the leader's character, his heart, his soul, what he like, how he love will come through in policy. I told you all, how could a man put SCA on the 20th and call an election on the 10th? How could he put SCA on the 20th and Cape and CSEC going on and then bring CPL on the 18th, but the people can't come home to see their loved ones. They're suffering and hungry out there because he has no heart. And he's saying it, he's doing for all of it for you. Play the video there now. Marsha video, Rowley versus Marsha 49. Go ahead, play there.
Accompanied by our constituents, Diego Martin West constituents. This is the voice of the People's National Movement.
I see hate. Mr. Speaker, I see bitterness. Mr. Speaker, I see acrimony. Mr. Speaker, I see animosity. And Mr. Speaker, I see a man completely out of control. The minute you oppose my good friend, Mr. Speaker, the minute you oppose my good friend, he gets very, very angry. And if you oppose him strongly, Mr. Speaker, he becomes a raging bull.
When we come back to Hacker Obika, Point Fortin, UNC, we going yellow. We coming back.
August 10th, 2020 is an election like no other, and you need a team like no other. Hunt, Haynes, Ram, Badarat, Nakid, Or, Tanku, Lee, Rambali, Garner, Lakis, Zakuru, Singh, Baird, Charles, Amin, Bodo, Charles, Walker, Munilal, Hussein, Hoyt, Benjamin, Ragbir, Ratiram, Stowe, Andrews, Indar Singh, Parry, Green, Sobers, Mohit, Obika, Roberts, Williams, David, John. Vote for the candidate and a leader you can trust. Kamla Prasad Bisesa.
Election day when you stay in your hand, it's for the UNC and the rising sun. What time it is? What time it is?
The United National Congress. Why wait?
Well, I wasn't studying nothing. I was working as normal. Going to work as normal. I just dry truck. So I'm going to work as normal. Until this started to occur. I started, go for treatment and then when I see burst out, I went doctor to find out and they say it's cancer. Disability and I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting nothing in fact. I was expecting to work as normal, live a whole life. You know what I mean? My whole life I was a PNM. Man. Growing up from small now, parents tell you PNM. But you didn't run when you're young and it's nothing well and why PNM and this and that. See that border across there? I had it for about 2 years across there, I had my foot on thing now, so I dig it out was a power bridge, But I didn't get around to power bridge and she came around and she realized what was going on with me and thing and she said, well, nah. To cross there wasn't easy, I was not swallowing, I was swallowing in a drain there. To cross them both with the scratches. And she said, nah, we'll fix a power bridge for you, so you get to walk across, But I said, well, I'll be thankful, real thankful. For PNM. That PNM members around here and they was only watching across that bridge. They never asked me, how you just make it across there, boy? Yeah, son? They never stop and say, oh, you just make it across that bridge, boy? Let me do something for you now, you know what I mean? Nothing like that. So you tell me, boy, they're easy. They're easy at all. They're not easy, they're not easy like to be disability. Plenty easier. Me, I catch my ass to walk across on a plank. I take my time and walk across there now. Yeah. Even though I get a vehicle and I go straight. So when I get a vehicle, I have to thing to bring it. I can't tote it in because I have to hold a crutch. Driver had to come out and I tote it and put it somewhere inside. Now I have to walk across there. I could tote my grocery easy, my hold my two and come in. Yeah, I had to fight up to cross that bridge. Yeah, more in the water. That coming real good. The average coming real good for me.
And welcome back to Douglas Politics with Point Fortin. Make some noise. Point Fortin for the next member of Parliament. Point Fortin, the Hacker Obika. Good evening, sir. Tell me, how has the campaign been going?
Strong. We're rocking Point Fortin. rocking Point Fortin. We had a big bad motorcade this weekend go on Sunday, and the love is there. In fact, people have been telling me that when my father went up in 2010, they feeling the same vibe, and he was just about 600 odd votes short at that time. Right now, the United National Congress is poised to take the seat of Point Fortin with Obika as the candidate myself.
So tell me first of all, as a black man, I can't just come and interview you and then ask you, what does Tahaka mean? They must have a meaning. Tell me, what your parents name you?
Well, I'll start with the surname. Obika means
Obika, okay.
The family is supreme.
The family is supreme. Say that again, because that is a very important thing, you know. The family is supreme.
So it's everyone's family. And Taharka was an Ethiopian king, Upper Egypt, from 6th century BC, who unified Upper and Lower Egypt. So Upper Egypt was Ethiopia, basically, or southern parts of Sudan, and unified Upper and Lower Egypt under Nubian rule. So he was a warrior king. So sometimes when you see me fighting in Parliament for Point Fortin constituency, you know, the name has some relevance.
But that why spirit. That why small pin duck and run from your boy. You put some warrior, you had the man calling you all kind of thing inside of it. But I must say, I have admired your contributions in the Parliament, in the Senate, especially when it comes to Point Fortin, energy issues, job issues, people issues. What is your background? Where you get that love for people? You see, politics not only about just reading what the Prime Minister say and what UNC plan 2020. People have to believe that when they vote Obika, they're getting somebody who they could trust, who's a man of his word, and who will go in there and fight for his people of Point Fortin.
You know, I'm born and raised in NJAC, National Joint Action Commission. Many young persons may not understand, but in Point Fortin, I grew up seeing my father and mother educating people. Even the crew came to that class, but maybe he may need to get a refresher course.
As coaches, as teachers, we cannot be proud of all our students. We got some may fall by the wayside.
But I want to say, crew sing a song about my competitor, and half of the song is about me. So I want to thank Western Rollins, the mighty crew, for endorsing 1,000 sustainable jobs at Point Fortin, which is my message.
He take your message and put it in that song?
Well,
Crow, just like Rowley boy plagiarizing, what going on? Rowley went to the Parliament to debate Tobago, and when I listening, I say, but I hear this before, boy. A message, my driver say, Mamu, bring my folder. When I check the thing, it's a win for James column on Tobago self-governance. Win for James makes 6 points. Rowley said the same 6 points in the same order, yes? Here him change it to say, well, let me pretend. So, what is this 1,000 jobs? And 1,000 jobs for who? Point Fortin and San Fernando West, or just for Point Fortin?
Nationally, the plan is 50,000 jobs. So in Point Fortin, that would mean just over 1,000. But you keep a wrong figure to keep people's imaginations intact. The tech park in Point Fortin remained dormant, even though Kamala Prasad Bisasa completed it. It was opened in November 2015. And there was an election in September 2015. So as a result of a completed park, they had a park that was ready for them to open after inauguration. This government, this Rowley regime, it remained empty. If you go there, you'll see donkey grass and you'll see one building constructed. I spoke to the managing director of that company, that is scaffolding manufacturers. Persons in Point will know them, they work in LNG. They did not need the approvals because of the warehouse they're building. The other companies need approvals. If you want to sell a bowl of corn soup, if public health doesn't approve, you can't sell. So if of course you have to invest millions, you would not. 20 to 30 companies having 10 to 15 employees gives you 300 jobs. And those companies are ready to invest, but they need the approvals. I will fast track those approvals, and Kamala Prasad Bisasa's style is ensuring delivery at the micro level, especially.
Well, as you say that, I would say that back in 2010 to 2015, she moved the ease of doing business index. We were at about 84th in the world. She moved that down to 66th. And of course, Keith Christopher Rowley, the total failure that he is, He has us now at 105th in the world, totally obliterating any failure records before. So you with Kamla, we could know that we understand what business needs, and you would fast track those approvals.
Definitely. So the investors are frustrated. So that's 300. From Captivity Carcass, as you see, just development zone. That's one of the 12 pillars of Kamala Prasad Bissasa's national transformation plan in the constituency of Point Fortin. 400 odd jobs can be created there by the same process. You have 20-30 companies creating on average 15 to 20 jobs. The highway to Cedros is also going to be a pillar. Now, before Kamala, the highway to Point Fortin was a pipe dream for persons in Point Fortin. I heard about that since I was going Muslim school on School Road on Bryce Road in Point Fortin. But she made it a reality. And she's also coming to complete the highway to Point Fortin and extend it to Cedros, which is where the jobs are needed, because if you look at the Labre industry, that could not have been realized without the highway being promised. Investors would have recognized that in the phases of development, right now the port is still under construction, in the phases of development, once the highway is completed at the final phase, it will be a spur for industrial activity. So the highway to Cedros will spur that activity in Cedros. And then, of course, in Point Fortin, I've been identifying the constituency that is at large, small and medium enterprises, 100 of whom, if they add 3 to 5 employees, then we have the 1,000 jobs there. So I've actually started an online course during COVID, but now I'm starting to ramp it up. Even tonight, I had a session with some youth from Point Coco who came to see Anil Roberts to Douglas Politics Live. I put them in a session and I reminded them that the Point Coco agricultural course.
Wait. In the midst of election, when everybody's studying to get people to vote, you take the time out to meet quietly with some youths to advise them on how to go forward, how you're going to create jobs, and what they have to do to get themselves ready for those jobs?
Definitely. In fact, this afternoon, before I met with some youths in Tishe village, the borough has prevented them from selling, saying they need to get certain things done. So I'm working with them to
borough, the Point Fortin Borough Corporation stop them from selling?
Right, so they need to
Hold on. All your PNL, why all of the stop people so? HDC, Jolin John do a little thing with some youth men, Hope Project, turning bush into agricultural produce. All you gotta pop a big red sign to tell them no trespassing, no. Now in the borough down here, you're humbugging young people from showing entrepreneurial spirit. Oh God, PNM, all you come out and give me a ease now. Take all your knee off with neck now, man.
So I'm working with them to make sure they work with the borough. However, working at getting infrastructure for them. So for example, they need to get tents. And
well, don't go by Davlin Thomas in the NCHRA. You might have to pay 400,000 for 2 tents. But anyway, you're going to get 10 for that.
So
don't worry, you talk a thing.
So this afternoon I had an initial session with them about doing their business. And on Friday, I'm leading with them specifically so that their business model can take off once they get the support that I can bring. But what I've been, even before the campaign started, I've been doing projects with young people. For example, in New Village, they have a farming project. The issue to me is we can take charge of our destiny in Point Fortin. But the biggest issue that persons have is that they can't take a stake in Point Fortin because we don't control the land. The lands in and around Point Fortin, even in Cedros, you have estates controlling lands. So persons have to squat on estates. In Point Fortin, you have persons in the borough part of it. Persons now have to squat on Petrotrin lands. So you're between the devil and the blue sea in terms of finding land that you could actually own and control.
What is your plan to allow young people to become landowners? Because that is a very important piece. Owning a piece of land is more than the value of the land. It deals with self-esteem. It deals with your ability to move forward, to raise your family, as your surname says. Family is the most critical, most important thing. What can you do to assist these young people in getting a little plot of land?
The Land for the Landless program. So even the political leader herself said it 2 virtual meetings ago. The Land for the Landless program is a faster alternative and a broader alternative than HEC. Because in HEC they may spend $1 billion and build 2,000 houses at most, at best. But with the land free landless program, you can spend a fraction of that money, the state that is, because the land is there, just to do the infrastructure upgrades, road, drainage, lights, and so on. And persons will get a house spot. If you need a foundation, they can assist you with that and assist you with the financing to do that. But most people, when they get that, they take their time and they build their house cash, because then you don't owe the bank.
Yeah, I wish I knew that before I take my first mortgage back in 1996. Pressure.
And then they get
mortgage is the worst thing, and that was only a 9%.
And then they get a state lease. So if you have a state lease, then a long-term lease, 99 years and so on, then you can be in a position now to take that to the bank and you can invest in Point Fortin. But because of the colonial heritage where these lands were already vested to interest, either in farming or in oil, persons in Point who generate income, whether it's from fishing or it's from working in the energy sector, they now have to find lands in other places. So you'll go to Aripero, Rosilak, Oropuch, and I see a lot of people from the constituency of Point Fortin buying property there because there is none available in Point Fortin, unless of course you have $500,000.
Well, you're learning a lot. We down in Point Fortin, we talking with Obika, the next member of parliament for Point Fortin. Talk to me.
Besides that,
okay, go ahead.
Regularization.
Oh, you mean so you're going
to also regularize 2 communities in Point Fortin.
Already?
Ranch, when she was prime minister, without having an MP, Tisha Extension and Ravine Ranch. Ravine Ranch is in Egypt village. So the plan will also be to broaden that into other communities. Now, last year in the Senate, there was a threat. We had a legal clinic in November last year, and there were persons in Captiville going to Springtrace into Warden Road Extension, and they were under threat of having their houses bulldozed. So they came to us in the legal clinic, and I told them that this is not a legal matter. This is a matter of for the executive, the government, for cabinet. So I said I will raise this in the parliament, but I raise it in a way that they're threatening to damage families. And of course the government was forced to respond that they will not, that they will stay the execution. That is, they will stop.
Did they stay it?
Well, they had to.
Well, give me a bounce now. Well done. So you say, all you give me a clap, you saving people out. Let me tell you something. It's not easy to be in opposition with a PNM like Rowley and them vindictive fellas, you know. When I tell you that these MPs or these senators, they just have to write letter after letter. So when you have a bit of success, because he used his brain, and he didn't just go the quiet letter, because they would have ignored that. He brought it out in the Senate and embarrassed them into action because they would have looked heartless. That is brilliance. So that's the kind of representation Point Fortin will get. And this time, he will be in government, in the cabinet, where he could argue for resources.
But Point Fortin also suffers from a lack of focus in terms of sports. Now, there are many young persons who benefited from your programs when you're in government, in sport. But if I take you on a tour of the sporting facilities in and around the constituency, you'll see that they're suffering. From Gonzales, the uprising youths, I'm trying to get a project to assist them, to Ikakas ground, which is the furthest village in the constituency. They have challenges with lighting and having the grounds sorted out and so on. So the young people don't have opportunity, and even the basic infrastructure is not there, it's not supported. But what I'm saying is, when we're in government, we can complete Mahika Oval. We can upgrade it.
It's
from
about 3 years Mahika Oval, they stop any sporting activity. Yeah. More than 5 years, and it's not finished yet. I heard they only have a frame. And then also a pass here, I see something, South Indoor Sport.
The indoor arena.
My goodness gracious me. I feel like I get tetanus just driving past. They have not maintained these or upkept the sporting facilities for young people. What has been going on in Point Fortin under the PNM?
And Point Fortin constituency also needs focus on culture, because we have the most road march winners for any town per capita.
Call some of your road march.
Mighty Dew.
Yeah. Okay.
Preacher.
Yacht.
Super Blue.
Hey.
Naya George.
Wait, it was Blue Boy first.
Yeah, Blue Boy, then Super Blue.
I feel I prefer Blue Boy to Super Blue. Because you sprinkle. We only get water, only sprinkle in water and we can't drink. Who else? It's all around.
Nia George,
Nia George, boy.
and Fair and Lions.
Trinidad and Fair.
But the problem is, we have a car park masquerading as a festival square. Since I was a child, I was proud to call that festival square. But having gone across the world and seeing what a festival center should look like, I refuse to call festival square that. I call it the Borough
So what is your
Corporation
plan?
Car Park.
What is your plan?
A world-class festival arts center for Point Fortin constituency. So we have Husay. If persons are familiar with Husay celebrations in
St. James.
St. James, and they are impressed by that, then they need to be prepared to have their mind blown if they come to Cedros for the Husay celebration. We have a carnival. Borough Day is not a borough celebration. Borough Day is at the level of a Caribbean carnival, like how you have crop over in Barbados. And the focus is to elevate the status of the events in Borough Day to attract a global focus. So what has sustained Borough Day is the returnees, the Point Fortin diaspora, but it has now grown to the level of a regional Caribbean carnival status. And then we have other festivals across the constituency. But if there is a world-class festival at center, this could be the point where the cultural entrepreneurs can focus on. Agriculture as well is needed in terms of focus, but there is something that is burning in Point Fortin constituency: infrastructure. If you take a drive to Cedros, the road is bad. If you take a drive in Chatham, the road is horrible. If you take a drive, the longest road in Point Fortin, well, the longest street really, Warden Road, is one of the worst roads in the country. Understand? So infrastructure is terrible, and it affects the small man in his pocket, because of course you have to pay for repairs to your vehicle. It affects the quality of life. It affects the cost for you to get out of your home and so on. The highway to Cedros will upgrade a lot of the secondary roads in and around Point Fortin, just as was done in Rosilac and Orpuch on the way down. So Point Fortin can expect relief.
You spoke to me a bit about earlier, your parents focus on education for you, for the family. Talk to me about the education, the early childhood centers in the area, the primary schools. I mean,
you know that I was evicted from the parliament for that, fighting for children in Chatham Government School, which was more than 90% complete by the Minister of Education's own admission. When I raised the question.
So it was 90% complete by Tim Gopi Singh.
Correct.
Back in September 2015.
Exactly.
And what percent is complete now?
90-something%. Not 100%. And when I raised the question in Parliament,
I don't know what to say again. I only want to vote for that. I just don't know. The Douglas just confused.
When I raised the question in Parliament, the response was it will be completed in 2021 because of COVID-19.
What?
So, and I was evicted because of my response in crosstalk when I asked for a similar reprimand for my colleague on the other side.
Right.
Now, the children in Chatham have to wake up in the morning and travel to Southern Gardens.
How long does it take? About 30 minutes?
Roughly. But then the parents have to bring them on the junction. They have to wait for transportation.
Right.
It's not
a
so
process.
Simple.
Right.
Yeah. Then, of course, if I carry to the location, there are only 77 children I could fit, because that early childhood center that they're in, that was built by Kamala Prasad.
And how many children suppose from Chatham?
Well, once they complete the school, for example, Kamala Prasad completed the Captiville School. She completed the Egypt Government School. Egypt Government School.
Wait, you tell me she completed some other projects and so on, but she didn't have an MP there?
No.
Huh?
And
you see the difference when they're lying. Understand that Kamala Prasad and her government did projects across Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody got help. No talk about no UNC card to get a food card and a hamper. You don't do poor people that. You don't embarrass poor people like that and say, but you must join a party to get a hamper. What kind of heartless people all you just have in red jersey, boy? All you grow up upon the yellow and grow a heart.
So the Egypt school was to cater for 250 odd children. But the principal at the time, Maximus Trotman, he was forced to increase the population, and he carried to the maximum, over 500 children. Now that was because the Fanny Village School, which was a project started before the partnership government, had difficulties, and the Chatham School had challenges. Now, if the Chatham school is reopened, then Egypt school may not be under so much pressure. There's a shortage of primary school spaces in Point Fortin. So you have children staying in the preschools longer than they should, just because the parents cannot get them into the primary school system.
But
this government has not built a single primary school in the Point Fortin constituency for the entire 5-year period.
I don't remember the full statistics, but I remember researching back in 2014, 15, 16, the overall scholastic performance of different areas. And I knew, sadly, that La Brea was among the worst.
But there's a school in Point that came first.
Okay.
We
call that for
Point
me.
Fortin Ashja Muslim. It's
Point
also
Fortin,
my alma mater.
Asia Muslim. So them come food. Them was one of the best. Right. So my question to you is, overall, so we know that there is a top school in Point Fortin. Tell me a bit more about generally across the constituency. What's the level? What would you like to do? And how would you like to improve it if you can?
Well, there's need for school development across the board. If you go to Guapo, you would see that the school there is in need of repair. In fact, for this election, I don't know if that was the reason, there are no polling stations in the Guapo school. So persons in Cochrane, Guapo, Gonzales will have to come to Egypt to cast their vote, right? Which was the school built by Kamala Prasad Bisesa. So you have that school needs to be upgraded. In Granville, the Granville RC school, they're in a container that needs to be.
In a what?
New school. In
one of them containers.
Yeah, shipping containers. Then you have
Guapo too in a container.
Guapo is in a temporary structure as well. Then you have.
How long they in them temporary?
Well,
more than 5 years.
So what Kamala Prasad basically did was she focused on building schools. The Captiville, the Egypt, and had the Chatham school been completed, you would have had some remedy. But there's also issues in Cedros, Anglican, and the Southern Central and Coromandel. But in Point Fortin, a major issue is the Fine Evaluate School. And they've only waited for the final month of their term in office to break down the old structure there. And so the current school is housed in the community center. So there would be need for a school program at the early childhood center level, because Southern Gardens children need their early childhood center, and then Cedros needs that. But there's a bigger issue that no one is touching on. Actually, the political leader mentioned it two weeks ago in a live meeting. This government took away funding for preschoolers, children ages 3 to 5 years old. So if under Kamala Prasad Bisesa, if your child was attending preschool, she paid the $400 a month fee for your child.
You make some noise. You know, I didn't know that one. I was in the government, me know we was that good. So we used to pay for early childhood. Also, I know special needs, I know all the other things. So $400 a month per child.
Man, so remember you have the early child centers, but those are government run.
Yes.
But the majority of children attend the private preschools.
And
right?
what? Oh, so the private, so you're paying it to the private?
Yeah,
right.
In 2016, Keith Rowley's government cancelled the contract.
Look at that camera and say, no. The Douglas said that.
In
what
2016, and this is the Minister of Education confirmed this in a question I raised in the Senate.
So you ask him the question.
Keith Rowley's government cancelled the contracts for private preschools in this country.
So them take money from babies too? I mean, not only the baby men, from toddlers, 3 to 5. Nah, I didn't even know that one, boy. And I learned something in Point Fortin today.
And how I discovered this is when I carried my first child to Auntie Lily preschool in Point Fortin, and I saw parents. And she said, these parents are struggling to afford fees. She said that it was free before, under Kamala. And within Rowley's first year in office, he did not renew the contracts, right, 2016. So I said, no, this can't be. So I raised the question in Parliament. And that's what I discovered, that they not only that they canceled the contracts of preschool children, they had no intention of returning to fund preschool education. No intention whatsoever. So when someone can sit, and when I go on the campaign trail and I talk to a grandmother, for example, and I watch the children in the house, I say, you have 2 grandchildren here. They are going to be attending preschool. I say, how much you have to pay? She said, no, it's free. I say, no, Kid Rowley has taken that away. You will have to pay for them. But if you vote for the UNC.
Look at the camera, you know.
If you vote for the UNC,
because all you feel this election is not no game and no thing about Douglas and this and that. Election is serious thing. Senator Obika, please tell them, for all of those who have little children who need early children, need a little assistance to get good schooling, to get that start, and everybody who knows cognitive development knows the most important time is 0 to 7. 0 to 7. So 2 to 5 is critical. Tell them what your policy, your UNC government under Kamala will do, please.
We will return that policy of paying for every child to get educated. And you know, the problem is this country received international recognition for the early childhood education policy, which means every child, once you attain the age of 2.5 or 3 years, will be mandated to obtain free education unless you wish to pay on your own. Free. So if you're attending a school, a preschool, the government will pay. I know, so they can't afford to pay. Then even if you could pay, you know, you still have to pay daycare. Right? This government mama guy here with daycare. But I'm not sure if any daycare owners could attest to whether or not they actually paid for any daycare. Because I'm yet to see any daycare operator benefiting from this so-called free daycare. So they have lied. This Kid Rowley government have lied even in this last budget, that when they said that they would pay for daycare. So they took away the preschool funding for children 3 to 5 years old, and they lied about covering daycare. So what it mean? And then of course they take away laptops from secondary school children. They did not follow through on the proposal to include tablets for primary school children. So what they're doing is that they are sending our young people from families who cannot afford it through the chute. They are not allowing them to succeed, so they are damning our children to failure.
You all are hearing it from Senator Obika. So Dr. Gadsby Dolly, you and all should vote for Kamala and vote for Obika, because you make the speech. Education is critical. Education is important. The Dr. Williams said the future is in the bag. Kamala said it's in the tablets and the laptops. You take the laptop, you and study the tablet, you take baby milk, you take school fees from babies, toddlers 3 to 5, you take school, private school help from special needs children, and you're talking and telling me education. Well, you should just say it, Dr. Gadsby Dolly. Vote Kamala, vote UNC, vote Obika. Point Fortin, UNC, make some noise.
I'll give you a little story. Because in the way the stories are told, we get the true picture of things. There's a young lady who came to, we brought in our team to spread this message of 1,000 jobs, land for the landless, because we really want this message to go out to every young person in Point Fortin constituency. And she was having a challenge with her computer because she had an exam to write. Now, this is somebody 19 years old, right? But the computer is working, but she just needed to repair it. But she couldn't repair it in time for the exam. She could have used it to an extent. She was still using a computer to do exams in 2020 that was given to her by Kamala Posabisasa in 2012.
In 2012?
So it means that the talk about the devices was substandard and so on. No computer is expected to last 8 years. They don't make it like that again.
You saw the booklets that I put up today on Douglas Politics. You weren't there, you were walking. You were out walking. Well, I have a booklet from a government secondary school in the East-West corridor. And at the bottom, Archie, point up for Senator Obika if you could find it. I know I'm giving you a lot of hard work, just point it up. And point up big so we could see it. Read that at the bottom of the booklet there for me, please, that the children the parents have to buy for the children.
One laptop computer. Dell, HP, Asus, Lenovo.
You see why you and Kamala to win very fast?
So they have to purchase
they have to purchase that on the book list. So they have to purchase physics, biology, mathematics, and a laptop.
What about the book grant?
Well, they took the book grant too. They cut it from by 100 million per year. So understand this. Point Fortin. Are we getting serious? Are we voting on policy, on issues, or are we voting about what Dr. Williams tell me in 1956? Are we voting based on who can help you? Are we voting on what makes your life better? Because I have yet to find one, no lie, I find about 7 people in the PNM who life got better since 2015. But other than that, the masses of people, your life has not improved. You have gotten worse since 2015 September. So make some noise, Point Fortin, if you're voting Obika. Obika! Obika! Come August 10th, we voted Obika. Archie, take me out, play the tune. Now is the time. Obika, on your dance and make some noise. Point Fortin, thank you very much. Douglas Politics, we out. All you see intelligence, that's what you vote for. None of them will put an election smack dab in the middle of SCA and Cape. Come on, Archie. Where the tune? Where the Obika? Now is the time. We gone. Good night.